Okay, so we have done the CRF 250L, we've done the CR 125F, and this is what I upgraded to. V-Strom 650, it's a 2013. The previous owner threw a whole lot of stuff at it. So it has the aluminum bash plate, has the engine guards, has a Suzuki branded hard luggage. It's got the windscreen deflector. It has the RAM mount for the phone. The side mirror extensions, which are really nice, by the way. I'm 6'2", 250. I'm kind of a wide guy, so I'm not looking at my shoulders or my elbows, which is nice. Heated grips, the little cruise control throttle lock, I suppose, and adjustable levers, the bark busters. So, I mean, it had everything thrown at it. I got a great deal. I really couldn't turn it down. So V-Strom 650, I think it has like 65-ish horsepower. It does everything. It's a sport adventure tour. It's super comfortable, super comfortable. As I've shown y'all, I had put like 500 miles on the CRF before I upgraded it, and this one I bought it with 17,900, and I've had it for just over a month. Let's find out what gear I think we're in first. All right, so 19,123. So yeah, 17,900. I've put 1,200 miles on the bike already in a month. Riding every chance I get because this bike is so easy to ride. It's so comfortable. Everything is just super easy and smooth, and it's great. Oh man, it's just such a great bike. Is it too much to start off with? I really am glad that I had the 250L to learn on. I am. Great bike to learn on. Great entry level to power. This has a ton more power, but man, is it so approachable. It doesn't like try and get away from you. It just rolls on so easy. Like at the moment I got on this bike and eased out the clutch on first gear, I was like, yep, I'm not going to have any problems with this bike. You will notice that this purple up here, this is Plasti Dip, or Dip Your Car Purple. I did it in a day. This side's holding up okay. I'm actually going to peel it all off and repaint all the panels. Grape jelly candy. But you can see where I put my left foot down and put it back up. So yeah, it's wearing through the Plasti Dip. So Plasti Dip not going to last a whole long time since my leg is going on it a bunch. But all right, so it's so hard for me to get on this with the tail bag on, but I had everything loaded up yesterday. So let's get on here without hurting myself, and we'll just go for a quick ride before it starts raining too much. All right, man, this bike is just so easy, so comfortable, and has given me no issues despite having 18,000 miles on it. And man, I haven't done this actually since I bought this bike and the 250L. Has ridden everything back to back. The progression of my learning, if you will. The CR 125F is just, oh my god, I was like, so much fun. Riding is amazing, just tearing ass around the property. And then, I got the CRF 250L and I was like, oh my god, the road is so much fun. This is just amazing, the freedom. I made a comment. I don't know how appropriate it is for YouTube or other people, but riding a motorcycle compared to riding a car is like having sex without a condom. I know that's such a terrible analogy. I wish I need to find another one, but it's just amazing. It's just so different. So there's like something missing when you're in the car. Like you just experience the whole world differently. So, oh man, the comfort. It's just hilarious. Going from the CR 125F to the 250 is an amazing step up in comfort. It's like sitting on a wooden bar stool and then sitting in a comfortable padded bar stool with a back on it. You kind of lean back. Not that you can lean back on the 250, but it's that difference in comfort. And then coming into this one, is like going from sitting in a comfortable bar stool to getting on somebody's couch and being able to listen. Everything's like soft and relaxed and just easy, and you just, oh man, it's just so great. This is just such a comfortable bike, and everything it does is so effortless. I've ridden it through the yard. Granted, like I said, we've had nothing but rain the past few months, and there's been a couple days where it hasn't rained and it's been either cold and sunny or semi-warm and overcast, but either way the yard was still just full of water, and that just it didn't lend me to really try taking this out around the property a whole lot. I tried the other day, and the MT-07s, no, that's a bike. What is the tires on here? It's a Shinko tire. I'll have to remember it later. But anyways, the Shinkos that are on here are great, and they seem like they'd be great for off-road. But hello. But they're not for mud. They're just really, they're not for mud at all. The moment it hits mud, like, oh man, the back end was super wallowy and fishtailing, and I was very excited to get back to pavement because I don't have any wood to knock on, but I have not laid any of my bikes down. And even in the dirt, I haven't laid any of my bikes down. So I don't want to. I don't want to, pop my laying shit down cherry. I don't want to lay anything down. So I was glad I was able to keep it upright and get it back on the road. But where this shines is just long distances. So Dork in the Road has a cool channel. I enjoy his YouTube channel with his motovlogs, and he went from a CB500 to a CRF, and also got a CRF 250L, and wanted to step up to another bike. And it was between this and the Kawasaki Versys 650, and he chose the Versys. And I've lived up in Washington and driven through Oregon, and I've lived up in Ohio, and they do have curvier roads up there. Texas is just vast amounts of straight. You just go straight forever, and very few curvy roads. You can probably find them here and there, but in general, you're not going to find a whole lot of curves. So a lot of the reviews that I found said that the V-Strom versus the Versys handles curvies much better and isn't quite as competent off-road. The V-Strom is competent on-road and competent off-road and handles straight line travel very well. But it isn't quite as fun per se as the Versys. Well, I pretty much only have straight roads to ride. When I ride to work, it is 50 miles down a highway. There's no other way to get there. There's no alternate roads. The only other way is to take one highway to a beltway to another highway, which is straight line, take an on-ramp, straight line, take an on-ramp. It's just, there's no curvies. So yeah, I like, even anywhere I go, I end up being on the highway forever. And so for my purposes, the V-Strom, after riding this, I might agree with people. It doesn't, there probably is a fun factor missing. You can ride this hard, don't get me wrong. I've gotten into, a couple times, like I've gotten onto, like, there was this super twisty on-ramp, which was weird, but I was able to, lean into the turns and get on the highway while I was accelerating. It felt very sport bikey. But this is not a sport bike. This is a sport adventure tourer. It sits amazingly upright. The seat is super comfortable, super soft. The power, you really have to try. I just cannot keep this thing from fogging up today. I've got anti-fog on it, everything, but it's just the moisture in the air and the rain. Yeah, this is not a sport bike. This is a sport adventure tourer. I've completely lost my train of thought. And it doesn't like to rev out. Like once you get to 5,000 RPM, the bike almost gives you this feeling of you should shift. You're at 4,000 RPM, you should shift. Now, once you rev it past there, like let's say you're on the highway and you downshift or you need to pass somebody, and you get it to 7,000 RPM, the engine changes tone and starts to sing. That's the only way I can characterize what the noise it makes, is it starts to sing. And let's see if I can get some fog clearing off this mask. The engine starts to sing, it changes its tone, and it comes alive. But in between 5,000 and 7,000 RPM, it's like the engine doesn't want to go. It's like a lazy athlete who really has to be urged and find the motivation to want to run, to do something spectacular. So I think that's where people, there's a lot, the feeling of a lack of fun is because when you're riding it around most of the time, the power is just so easy and so smooth and predictable and just la-di-da, and you really have to try to wake the engine up. And it'll do it. It'll do everything I need it to do. And whenever, the few times I've had the engine woken up, I was like, oh man, but at that point you're starting to eclipse legalities of things, and you just slow back down and go back to your normal riding and your normal high, legal speeds and whatnot. And so there, you just go back to the cruising, lazy feel of the bike. But it doesn't detract from the bike. It's just a different kind of bike. And highway riding, you're going a long way for a long time. This does just soak up the miles. You could just ride comfortably, and man, I especially going back to back from the other two bikes, this is just so comfortable. Is this the creepy road? I can't remember if this is the creepy road or not. I'm gonna... Whoops. Sorry, people. So, I can't see shit with that face mask. Alright, let's see this. So, I'll just give y'all a taste of some Texas here while I'm riding. This is really just so I can turn around, but I don't want to... Not really any good places to turn around where I'm going, and I don't want to make this too long. But, yeah, for a new rider like me to jump on this bike and immediately put on 1,000 miles in a month, that just goes to show how easy this bike is to ride, how many miles you can put on it effortlessly. It's just a great bike, and I think I'll have this one for a while. There is the urge to get something different, not for a need, but just for a want. It's ridiculous because I've had this less than a month. I'm like, oh man, I want to try all the bikes, and I think that's the thing too. Is now that I'm open to riding, and I've realized that bikes are really approachable and relatively easy to ride once you've got the basics handled and you're comfortable riding. At least like at this level, I'm not going to jump on some leader bike BMW S1000RR and think that I'm a good rider, but I'm a rider that can at least enjoy motorcycles. And each bike has its own feel, and yeah, so I want to experience all those different feels, and so there's that part of me that's like, oh man, I should just get all the bikes. And it's probably not a great mentality to have. Clark's old place. Well, who lives there now if that's Clark's old place? I guess I haven't been down this road. Turn around here and we'll go ahead and leave. But yeah, I just want to try all the bikes. Like a few years back, I got into Scotch, Scotch whiskey, and within the first few months, I was like, I could start to taste all the different flavors of Scotch. It didn't just burn my face off and like sear my tongue and just make me gag. Like I was starting to enjoy it. And once I was like, oh my god, there's all these flavors. You can taste vanilla and like cherries and raisin and toffee and all these different flavors in the... What the hell is that? You could taste all these different flavors in the Scotch. I was like, I have to buy all the Scotches. I have to try them all. I feel like that's where I'm at with motorcycles right now, because I got on the CR125F and I just learned. you know, just enough to be able to, I can function on a bike. And then I got the CRF 250L, and I was like, okay, I can ride it on the street, you know, I can get up to speed. And then I got this, and I was like, okay, I can do highway speeds and ride distance and, you know, enjoy myself safely. And now I'm like, oh, I gotta try them all, you know. So I don't plan on really ever selling this, because this is just such a good bike. I got a great deal on it, and as long as this thing keeps running, I'm just gonna keep driving it. I haven't really, not really showing y'all anything spectacular because I am still a new rider. You know, I'm definitely not going to say that I'm any kind of expert, and I don't know where the limits are on the bikes yet, and I don't want to find them because I feel like once you find a limit, you've probably passed it, and I don't need to be winding up in any ditches. I don't need to be testing out how amazing my gear is, and have to buy new gear because I destroyed it. I like to keep my gear intact and not break things. So and since it's wet roads, I don't want to be. I think the quickest way to hurt yourself is to show off for anybody, and that goes for anything. I mean, you watch videos like Fail Army, or grew up watching America's Funniest Home Videos, things like that. Like, the moment somebody tries to show off is the moment somebody gets hurt. And my philosophy when riding is riding is like a zen thing for me. Even if I'm in a really bad mood, if I'm in a bad mood and I get in a car, I'm in a bad mood at everybody. I'm a terrible driver. I'm not even gonna lie. Terrible driver in a car. Super aggressive. Drive too fast, I'll start weaving in and out of traffic, and I won't get road rage. I'm not going to say I'm immune to road rage, but I have been prone to rage on the road. When I'm on a motorcycle, it's completely different. If I get on the motorcycle and I'm angry, the motorcycle puts me at ease. I handle traffic situations very differently on the motorcycle than I do in a car. And it's just my time to relax and enjoy the world and experience the world. And when you're with other traffic, I'm on a motorcycle. If I piss off somebody in a car and they decide to sideswipe me, it's done nothing but scratch their car. And half the cars in Texas, we just saw an RV that had the top ripped off that was a pipe flat. Pipe trailer or something. Most people in Texas, I feel like, there's so many people, their cars are just beat to shit anyways, and they don't care if they get another scratch or another ding or another door panel dent. But if they hit me, I could die. I could get seriously injured. So any altercation is a losing one for me, and I'm not a big fan of losing. So the best way for me to win is to not enter an altercation and just enjoy myself, and my serenity is going to trump their anger. So I can slow up and get out of their way. I can get onto the shoulder if need be, find a different road, because I'm just going to be exploring anyways. I don't like to be need to go anywhere in a hurry in the bike. If I'm going on the bike, I got plenty of time to get there, and it's I'm not in a rush. And I think that's another thing, is when I'm in a car and I'm like, oh, I got to get to my destination, I got to get the groceries, got to get home because I need other shit to do. When I'm on the bike, I'm like, hey, I'm on the bike. That's the bike's time. That's the bike owns that time. That's time to relax and just enjoy the nature of riding a motorcycle, and don't let other things get in the way and get in your head. So it really puts you in a much better mood. The other day I had a really bad day and I rode for 2 hours, and we went around the lake, and by the time I got home, I was in a great mood. I'd totally forgotten that there was something that had bothered me earlier in the day, and I was like, well, just we'll deal with that another time. And so, when you see videos of people just being super angry, I just don't get it, because the motorcycle is just such a happy time. Just enjoy it. Enjoy life. Enjoy the world. The freedom. Being exposed to nature and the smells and the sounds of the world around you. And, there's so many things you see that you miss when you're in a car. That you're like, oh, I'm in a car, I'm just going to drive past this. When you're in a bike, you're like, hey, I think we should stop and look at that. You want to pull off there? Let's pull off there. Stop and have lunch, sit on the side of the road or something, watch the birds. That's my approach. Just, this is awesome. awesome hobby. It's awesomely relaxing. It's like taking an antidepressant with a motor or two wheels. And I know this isn't the sportiest bike, and like there's faster ones, but I'm not about popping dank woolies. I'm not about doing crazy things and living dangerously. Just being on a bike is dangerous enough, in my opinion. I just want to enjoy the world and enjoy my life, and actually live my life. I don't need to be in danger. Man, I sound like an old man on my old sport adventure tour. Because close thing to this would be something like the hell, I think even the BMW 850 GS is more dirt oriented than this, and the more road oriented is the 1200 GS. But I feel like this would be in that 1200 GS category if this were the V-Strom 1000. But it's not, and the 650 is plenty of bike. I'll have to get it out on the highway one day and show you. I'm sure I actually did make a video on the highway. I made a video coming home from work, and the audio failed on all of them. It was just video of me riding, which isn't fun for anybody. There's no audio, no sounds, no engine noises. But so yeah, V-Strom 650. It's just the easiest damn thing to ride. Super comfortable. I've been getting, let's see, what kind of gas mileage am I getting? 54.6 miles to the gallon. And so I reset that when I got the bike, and so I've been getting 54.6 miles to the gallon. Pretty good. And we'll pull up next to the other bikes here.